Alrighty. Alrighty. Morning, Geo. I am doing well. How are you doing this morning? I'm already done for the day, but I'm doing well. Doing well. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I caught a little short earlier after NFP, kind of on that first pullback, and went in kind of heavy. Just went for 400 bucks there. Got about 400 bucks, and I got out. Pretty much bottom ticked it too on the exit. Not on purpose, but it's nice. So I'm done there on my funded morning Keely. I don't know how to pronounce that still, so. Autotrader not doing well today. I did let people know last night that it probably wouldn't be great because of NFP today. If you're new to the group, I always say, literally since the start of the Discord, I don't like to run our algos on certain days. And those days are NFP, CPI, FOMC generally. And today NFP was at 8:30. So again, don't like to run funded accounts on those days. Algos tend to do worse in my opinion on those days. So I always say that it's better to be safe than sorry, right? I'd rather miss a good day than potentially have it be negative like it is today, like negative 3,000. That's between these two. We'll review both here. And this is on 500 risk per trade, so not many wins, but take a look here. Had a loss last night. This is part of the risk with the pierce through, is we respect this gap, continue up. The pierce through just enters as soon as it gets any sort of wick through it. So this is still, not a proper iFVG. So that lost. Same thing here. Never broke above it, so technically it's not an iFVG proper iFVG. Same thing here, right? So those two could be mitigated. This one would have entered here, so, and this one as well. So these would have been a little more valid, but so 4 losses there, right? On NQ. Then we have gold here, took a loss here. Partial win here. This one was, again, a pierce through. It respected the gap, came back, stopped out, and then ran. Same thing here, respected the gap. So a lot of the losses are just showing some of the weakness points in that pierce through setting instead of the close through, right? Like, and if you dive into the settings here, you have the pierce through. You can change that to close through or pierce through, right? But again, I warned people last night in the Discord it probably wouldn't be the best night just because of NFP today. That's exactly what happened. So sometimes you just got to listen to Joe. Sometimes you got to listen to Joe. I have Spectre up as well. We'll see how that does today. Spectre is obviously super high risk, high reward. And I did kind of call out another trade you could have taken in the iFVG chat for another short trade on the 1 minute NQ chart. I don't know. I don't think I have one up. Let's switch this here. I called out this pretty much as it happened, 8:56. If you were looking in the chat, there was a gap right here. You could have taken this manually. Gap right here. Got a close below. Obviously, you could have shorted on this candle. I alerted it pretty much like right here. Let me just, yeah, right here. Stop loss would have been up here, just above the gap. And, you know, you could have just gone for a one-to-one hit right here, right? So I did say that was a quality setup there in the chat as it happened. So you caught this, Mayan? Yeah, that was an A quality setup there. Obviously, not all A quality setups win, but you know, sometimes you just gotta take the risk. I mean, if it's an A setup according to your rules, then take the setup. If it wins, great. If it loses, it was still an A setup. You can't be mad about it. So, but that one did end up winning. So 1-to-1 there. I generally like to do 1-to-1s on in pre-market. Generally, you don't get the huge runs in pre-market. So. Yeah, good morning. Welcome in, guys. I do have the order flow up as well. Okay. I also kind of showed this 8:30. We obviously had the news here. Pulled back. You can see a pretty big positive delta for pre-market. You know, 270. Bit of an outlier compared to what else was going on, right? Positive 270. Kind of dip and respect it. So kind of that reclaim we've been talking about. Another 387 here. And we kind of dip. And again, this level, so from, you know, 54s down to like 52s, we'd want to be holding that, right? Then we get a negative delta of 228. Right at the same level, pretty much. We dip, we immediately reclaim it within the next minute. It's a long opportunity, in my opinion. When we get, you know, you have quite a bit of buying, you can see it here. And then we get some negative buying at the lows, volume's fairly thin here. And then we reclaim it and hold it. So once we reclaim it, you could long here around 57s. You could wait for a little pullback. Long at 55s. Stops just kind of at the low, you know, 51, 52. And then we obviously get a bit of a run. I mean, this went from, you know, pretty much say you got a bad entry around 58, 59. It still ran up 11 to 12 points. So anyway, market is open and we're in a trade on the NQ. Again, pierce through, it's still respecting that gap. So you know, this is not a valid trade yet. It's part of the risk with the pierce through. See how it's respecting this gap? We didn't get a close over here. That means the bearish gap is still valid. It's just part of the risk. A lot of times the pierce through can help you. A lot of times it will hurt you though. Today it's hurting you. On that NFP day. We'll see though. See what can happen here. We do have a slight SMT at the high here. So we'll see ES breaking the highs, which is equivalent to the second TP here on NQ. Smack the stop loss here. Again, another example, just didn't actually close over. So still invalid. That's still not a proper iFVG, I would label it as. Also, that A quality setup from earlier still running. All right, we got a, what is this here? Do have Spectre here as well. So was that? Yeah. All right, let's pull up the orders here as well. Take a look at this. We can see some pretty big positive deltas here. 600 here, 228. That's going to be at the 6770 level. If we can get a reclaim here, potential long negative 1800 down here. Yeah, we can reclaim this like we just did. I mean, longs right here, not terrible in my opinion. Obviously super risky on the open, but yeah, we just want to be holding the 65 level. Obviously big selling here, absorbed though, and immediately kind of bouncing back out of that with some heavier buying up here. I would consider that part of the reclaim, right? We dip down, huge seller, immediately reclaim that level, you know, putting a stop below that potentially. Be risky, but I'm not a professional order flow guy though, just a heads up. But like a long here at 68 area, stop at 64, you know, 4-point stop. So you'd already be at a 1-to-1, you know, long at 68, 69, stop at 64. Would have been about 4 points there on ES. Getting a 30-second NQ long as well. iFVG long. It's a B setup, B plus setup, nothing crazy, but it's valid. So again, not in anything here. Algos are not in anything. We did just finally get the close over of that gap. So you can see here, this finally closed, but it looks like we're just consolidating right now. See what happens at this 65 level. Again, a long anywhere right here, 68. Stop maybe below 64. I don't think that's a terrible trade from what I've been seeing with the order flow, but again, I'm not a magician here. Definitely a big outlier though. All right, well, nice trade. We predicted again. Again, I said multiple times, you know, longing at 68 area, stop at around 64. So would have been a 4-point stop. you would have just hit 7 points of profit. So that would have been a 1.8 R. So, you know, if you're risking 400 bucks, you would have been up, you know, 700, 750 there at that high. Even just from that small move on ES, right? So, just saying, the delta little flip there still worked out pretty well. And that 30-second NQ long still valid there. Yeah, not anything with the iFVG. We predicted the market pretty well yesterday with order flow. So we'll see how today is. So far, I would say we're 1 for 1 with the order flow. Ooh, I just hurt my wrist. Oof. Yeah, I would say that was a good call out. 4 to 5 points on ES for profit is actually quite a bit, guys. So 4 to 5 points on ES is about 20 points worth on NQ. I don't have, I'm not trading myself just based off of orders yet, but definitely helps at least with some, you know, confidence in a certain direction. You know, if I'm looking for longs and I see something like this and we flip it, or, you know, see some heavy buying coming in, helps me be a little more confident. But we'll want to hold this, I would say generally hold the 70 to 65 area where we see this big buying here. And this giant seller. Remember, for every seller there's a buyer, for every buyer there's a seller. So negative 1,800 lots here. Someone had to have bought those, right? You can't just sell and not have someone buy. So yeah, strong. Yeah. But again, giant seller here at the lows, immediately flipping that, reclaiming it, dip back into it, long opportunity if you want. Stops maybe below the giant trade here. Catch a little scalp. But right now we're chopping. There's not much to it, so. And then I mentioned this trade in pre-market right here. Pretty big outlier for Delta here, 270 buying, 380, and then we had a negative 220, reclaimed it, held it, pumped. I haven't found anything super consistent with Spectre yet. If you do find something super consistent, Jill, shoot me a DM. I have it up right now, but I mean, I haven't noticed anything like, I don't know. A lot of the times the machine learning is not good in my opinion, but positive 700 here, so a little bit of a reverse, right? Positive 700, move above, kind of reclaim it, kind of opposite of this, right? Shorts reclaimed, longs got reclaimed lower, short opportunity, but again, and we broke below that 65 area, we'll see, but right now it's just chopping. And I'll pull up the Autotrader if, yeah, so far I have a couple losses here on Spectre. It keeps, the machine learning is not, actually shorting at the lows and then taking losses. It's not reverting. But if you find something, let me know. I haven't found something where it's like super consistent. Again, the 5,000 tick chart getting burnt today. It did just take a short insta loss. I'll show you here, because I'm the most transparent person around. Again, shorting here. I'm not sure what I think about the pierce through today. It's sucking. Again, a green gap is the bullish fair value gap. We get a pierce through, so it shorts, but we respect it. So it's not a valid iFVG to me for how I trade. And obviously shorts, but it's still getting respected and comes back up. So there you go. But again, I told the group last night today probably wouldn't be a good day, because of NFP. So I don't run our algos, any algo, on my personal accounts, on my funded accounts, on NFP days. So got solid confidence for the machine learning. Yeah, let me know. DM me if you find something. Obviously, there's only so much you can do with, like, you know, you find the optimizer, or you do the optimizer, you change some of the settings, obviously, and then you start the machine learning. It's just about how long you maybe let the machine learning run, or how many bars loaded you have, you know, stuff like that more. But yeah, just chop, guys. Just chop. So nothing here. Nothing good, I should say. All right, we're in another short. This one's actually valid. This might be one of the only valid trades of the day so far, where we actually get a close through. But again, we're chopping here, so we'll see. Yeah, I would agree. I haven't found something consistent yet myself, but see what goes on here with this short. I would say, I mean, I don't like it just for the fact that it's in a super consolidation area, right? Like, zoom out a little bit. Look at this. All right. I mean, it's not really a good trade. So yeah, so pretty much every trade is lost today on the NQ chart, guys. So again, if you're testing the last 30 days on the setups, remember the government's been shut down for the last 30 days. Today is the first NFP event in a long time. The first real, like, red folder event. So if you're testing settings at we're working when the government's not shut down, it might be a little different now because the government's not shut down. You know, understand what I'm saying? So it is what it is. It is what it is. And again, I'll just keep preaching this because I've been saying it for years now. I don't trade algos on my funded accounts on these days, so I don't care how bad it does because it's not a normal day. But yeah, Spectre getting dookied on as well, for me at least. Yeah, that's the thing with, yeah, it just depends on how many bars that you're optimizing, some of your settings, your machine learning. Yeah, like these right here, I would have thought, you know, the machine learning may have reversed these first 3 trades. Like it's shorted here. I would have thought that it would have probably reverted those. I don't know. A quality 1 minute short here, but again, we're pretty choppy, so you know it's very risky. It's getting reversed immediately. Yeah, it looks like the group didn't take too much of my advice. A lot of people ran their funded accounts today with the bot. You just gotta start setting hard rules for yourself. You gotta start setting hard rules for yourself. My rule, since probably Gasoline Trader back in 2023, I don't trade on days like today, right? Start setting some hard rules for yourself, right? I want you guys to succeed. It's much better to miss a good day than have a bad day. You got to remember that with trading. It's much better to miss a day where you would make $2,000 than have a day where you lose $2,000. You got to remember that. So it's always about, you got to play defensive. So if today is generally maybe not going to give you the best odds, then don't trade it. Doesn't matter what your back test says, right, of the last 30 days or 60 days. Today was NFP. I don't trade NFP. Okay. Next week, there's a bank holiday on Friday or on Thursday. That's Thanksgiving. I won't trade that day. The week after that, there's not much, so you could trade. The week after that, CPI. I'm not going to trade it on CPI day. And it's CPI and FOMC on the same day. Right? So, like, I'm not going to trade that day. Odds are probably not in my favor. 100% pre-NFP is a recipe for chop. You'd be careful. Trend focus algorithms. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just the odds are not in your favor. That's what you got to remember. I guarantee too, we'll probably have a few people cancel the bot today as well because of them not understanding that, you know, it's NFP today. I'm sure a lot of people ran it. They didn't have any idea that there was NFP today. And they're using it for the first time. They're like, man, this bot sucks. And yeah, it does suck today. That's part of it. But you got to look at, okay, maybe why does it suck today? NFP. Okay. Oh, it's done really good the last 30 days. Right, like let me see how many days I have loaded on here. Also big buying here at 75. 1,200 lots, or 1,200 positive delta at 75. 1,700 positive delta at 77. Definitely want that area to hold there. If I look at the data series here and I have only the last 3 days loaded, let's take a look at the performance. Okay, $5,700 profit, 1,000 drawdown. Today obviously has lost, I think, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 trades. That's equivalent to $3,500. Okay. So that's on high risk per trade. It's on 500 risk per trade. But you'd still be left with 2,000 profit. But obviously, a lot of people would have blown an account with that much drawdown. So that's why I say low risk. But also, you could have just avoided today. You've already had a good last week. Right? Like, what's the point if you're getting close to a payout on running on a day with, you know, stuff that's not in your favor? You know what I'm saying? So all right, well, we held that 75, 77 area. Take a look here. Again, look at this. Positive 980. Kind of dip into it, hold. Positive 1,700. Dip into it. Run. But again, you still could be holding that first long from over here. I think that was probably the best opportunity. Negative 1,800 lots sold, absorbed. Someone had to be buying that. Reclaimed, held. So again, that long at 68 from the beginning of the live stream. You're now up at 85, so almost 20 points on ES. Yeah, they do, Jonathan. They do. It's 10 o'clock. Let's see. Got greedy after the first loss with both, turned it off, felt stupid. All right, we're in a gold. We are moving here. We are moving. It's funny. If you guys know Carmine Rosado, good order flow trader. Morning MP trades. He actually took this same trade I called out earlier. There was this big seller here, right? 1,800 lots. We reclaim this, right? Reclaim this. Hold the area, right? You could have longed here around 68, stop around 64. He actually waited until, well, this ended up moving up, right? Up about 7 points, which is pretty good. Then we moved down here, have some more selling, still kind of holding that area, right? That general area, 65, you can see here. And he took a trade pretty much here around the same level, and then caught from there. But I just think that's pretty interesting. He pretty much longed over here instead of right here, which this is still, you know, 7 points on ES is pretty good. He waited for this, kind of dip down again, reclaim it, and then we go. Just find that pretty interesting. Yeah, if you've read what I posted in the chat, then I mean, definitely take a look at what I posted in the chat. A lot of you guys are running them on funded accounts today. Evals that are really close to passing. There's been a hard rule with my trading for the last 3 years, and it's don't trade algos on these days. Today was NFP. Next week's a bank holiday. Week after that is CPI and FOMC. I'm not going to run them on those days, right? It's the odds are not in our favor. A lot of people are thinking too much in the mindset of let me make money, and you need to think of, okay, I've had a good week. How can I finish out the week good? Well, probably NFP is not going to be the, the day where I have the best odds, right? It's a high impact news event, and it's going to be affecting the whole day. Don't run it, right? A lot of people don't think that way. You need to switch the mindset a little bit. I'm not saying you specifically, MP. I'm just saying like everyone in the group, What's the order flow? This is Sierra chart. Not sure if I'll keep it or what. But yeah. Again, big buying from the 75, 77. Really haven't moved much since the open though. NQ's up 66 points. ES is up 20 points. It's not super expensive. But you do have to have like an actual live account and like hook it up to Sierra chart or something so you don't get like charged professional data. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but another interesting thing here at the 80s. Negative 350 and a positive 450 right here. See what happens. A setup ES short right now. iFVG on the 2-minute chart. Stop at the high. It's about 11 points. Again, short. Okay. Short was right here, 79. Stop was at the high. It's an A setup. I'd be break even right now. You're up 7 points. Big seller, 1,600 lots there. Let's see what happens. See if we want to reclaim this. We're back at that 75 area. Would I trade gold on day? I wouldn't trade anything really on days like today. I mean, we're in this gold trade. I don't like to trade algos on news days. Also, that trade I called out is a winner. It's not quite at a 1-to-1 quite yet. Unless you risked a little bit less, you know. You definitely didn't need to put your stop loss at the high. Yeah, it just hit 0.98 TAR. Okay, we'll count it. It's a win. It's a win there. All right, 1R officially hit there. 1.1R if you put the normal, you know, stop above the high. I don't know if anyone would have taken that or not. It is an A setup, so I mean, if it lost, it lost, but I mean, it was an A setup for my rules there, so. Gotta take an A setup when it appears, so. Yeah, I don't know if anyone took that trade there. This is what it was. ES 2 minute. Is that right? Right here. Sup the high. We supped an hourly high a little while ago. So yeah, I mean, it was fine. And then short right here. You could have put your stop just like, you know, somewhere here, a little bit tighter. Would have hit your 1 to 2. Well, the one, you know, I called out there, your stop would have been at the high. And then again, just a 1 to 1 on a day like today is really all you need. So even that, right? Either way, it's a win. Either way, it's a win. If you got in late, because, you know, the stream might have a delay, you probably would have gotten in somewhere here. You could have just, even still, I wouldn't have put my stop at the high at that point. But, like, either way, you know, it's a win, I would say. So, pretty good. Let's take a look at Spectre. Am I even showing the right screen? I am, okay. Yeah, I'm down on Spectre, so. All right, it's 10:11. I think we might just call it here. I'm going to try and make a video today or tomorrow over, you know, what me and one of our members, guy who got $1 million in payouts from our group, from the auto traders. I'm gonna try and make a video over our conversation today or tomorrow. Again, you definitely have to spend a lot of money to be able to make that kind of money with prop firms, right? I mean, accounts are not cheap, but there's still a lot of profit in there. So kind of go over the process, how he kind of goes about each week, stuff like that. I think you guys will like it though. Otherwise, we'll call it here. Again, I don't trade anyway on NFP days, so fine by me. Sorry to all the people that, you know, traded today and got burnt. Start to just implement some rules for yourself and think in a more defensive mindset of, are the odds in my favor today? You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna call it here. Have a great day, everyone. I will see everyone tomorrow for Friday. So be safe out there, and I'll see everyone tomorrow. See ya.